What up? What up? What up?
We're back.
Wednesday. Yes. September 3rd. And yes, you're here for an episode of the Knockout Canvas. What's up, Coach Angelo?
We're back, Professor T. We're back.
We're back. How you doing, bro?
Doing good, man. Doing good, you know. Just got back from Seattle, Washington. Did a family reunion and got to watch for the first time Washington Huskies football at Washington Stadium.
Hey.
If you've never been to that before, for anyone listening to us tonight, it's definitely a must try at least once in your life. The greatest setting I've ever seen for any football game.
Right.
It's right. I mean, it's right next to a lake and a mountain. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
fire. It is fire. Yeah, I've been to this.
You've been there, right?
Absolutely.
I figured you might have played there, but no, probably not.
I didn't play there, but I've been there.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. So that was fun. I know you've been busy, and it's ramping up for you now with Raider.
Always, but hey, you know how we do, man.
Yeah.
Let's go on.
And 10 days away from Canelo Crawford. So now we can really break it down because we have to, man. Because next week we'll probably, with football coming up tomorrow and a bunch of other stuff. And by the way, next week, Thursday, is the first of the series I talked about with you and Nabiel, which is called Underdog. Remember me mentioning Underdog?
Yeah.
Well, it's next week on Thursday at the Fountain Blue. I think it's I just got to say it. So if you're listening to us, Turkey, I kind of thought we were supposed to get that for free.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I get it. Dana White's the promoter. I think it's a little silly in some respect. And let me get your opinion on this. So let's say I already bought it. I'm just talking in the narrative. Right. Let's say I bought a ticket to Canelo Crawford. And let's say I had to buy one of the 400 sections at Allegiant, which cost me anywhere from $300 to $500, whatever, right? Even if I got it at a good deal. And I'm all excited about it because I'm going to be a part of this event. At least I'll be there. The gates are going to open, I think, at like 2 in the afternoon. The event's already going to start. It's going to feel like a UFC event. First fight's going to start right at 2:30 or 3, and then bang, 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 right? 10 fights.
Back to back.
Bang, 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 bang. And we still don't even know what concert performance that they keep talking about. They keep talking about there's going to be something. It's going to be some big announcement that, I don't know, Beyonce or something. They're going to do 3 songs. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I hope it's Taylor Swift.
I said Taylor Swift.
Hey, man. For all you Swifties out there, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not saying I'm a Swiftie, but that 1989 album is quite catchy, y'all. And Kendrick Lamar did do a song with her too, Turf.
Right.
All right. So, but anyway, the September 11th, it's at the Fontainebleau or the Fontainebleau. I don't know how to pronounce it yet. But you have to pay extra money of tickets. And even if you told me, well, a ticket, Angelo, is only going to cost $50, let's say, to go watch the Underdog card. My entire point is, if I already bought $500 of a ticket to go to Canelo Crawford, why are you asking me to pay something else if I'm going to be there for the week? Right. I'm most likely, if I traveled, I'm going to be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just watch that on it's free anyways. I'll watch it on YouTube or whatever. I'm not going to go to that event because, screw it. But if there was a way for them to have said, hey, we're actually going to allow the people who bought tickets to Allegiant, we're going to allow them to come and watch this, or figured out some sort of method, right?
Yeah.
And still, I also was under the impression we would get more fights on a Friday because Turkey talked about that, but I haven't heard of anything. So unless something crazy were to happen, I don't think we're going to get anything on the Friday either. So a little disappointed on that. Little disappointed on both of those sides.
And
But like as an overall fan yourself, Professor T,
yeah,
how do you feel about it?
I mean, it's a little disappointing. You know, if we're gonna get back what boxing's been missing, right? Great fan base, exciting matches, things along those lines. We got to find a way, and it's going to take a step or two backwards monetarily, in my opinion, to take quite a few forward at this point because of the state of boxing. You know, from an American standpoint. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. We're gonna figure it out, I think. I'm saying we like I'm part of it. 30-hour chic.
But you are a part of the whole thing. We're the ones that fund it.
Right.
If we're being honest.
That's true.
Right.
That is true. That's hey.
And it shows like this. Like really, if you think about it, it's the YouTube content creators that have kept boxing alive in the United States for the better part of the last 10 years, man, because the minute HBO was gone and the minute they stopped talking about it on mainstream news, bro, it's people like us that were keeping it alive because we're talking to people about it. So you are a part of it, Professor T. Don't sell yourself short, man.
Yeah, you're right. I take that back. You're right. We are a part of it. 100%. 100%. So real quick before we continue, as you know, we got people in the building. My guy Ramsey Alexander. I'm rolling with Bud. Yeah, me too. You already know.
He's definitely the wallet bet. If you got money.
Now, yeah, with the way we'll get into that too.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it, and we'll tell you guys how to bet it.
Yeah, I don't understand the odds, but anywho. Man, we got Debo Harper in the building. We got Aaron Terence 236. We got Ray of Sunshine, Texas in the building.
Hey, Texas in the house.
We got a Kobe Helms in the building. I am Gumby. There's this one user 199, blah, 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 blah. We love you. You always keep showing up. Appreciate you. Kevin McNulty is in the business. There's a lot of people in the building, man. So,
man, that's awesome.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hope you enjoy the show. Yes, sir.
Yeah, continuing to grow, guys. It's still only episode 6. We're still getting it all together, but pretty soon it'll run even smoother and smoother. As you can notice, today we started on time. That's already
it's a start. You start somewhere.
Yeah. So for with the Canelo Crawford, we covered with Nabiel on that show 2 weeks ago how all the undercards are pretty awesome, right? And again, I've spoken about this on ATP Combat Media on their show. I've talked about it on the Hangout Spot with Johnny on his show. I've talked about it on Marco's Boxing, and I keep trying to explain to everyone that Canelo Crawford, the event, is not designed for the hardcore fans like me and Professor T and the rest of you guys.
No.
It is designed solely to reintroduce boxing on a free level to the 300 million global subscribers around the world. So for all of you guys who are questioning, I don't understand, why is Caleb Walsh versus Fernando Vargas Jr. the co-main event?
Right.
We understand you. Me and Professor T are right there with you. Yes, in the YouTube portion has far more better, higher level named fighters. We get it.
Right.
But if you're one of the 300 million global subscribers of Netflix, you got an Irish guy that's pretty popular who's probably going to get a whole bunch of people from Ireland tuning on Netflix.
Absolutely.
Against Fernando Vargas Jr., the son of the legend, who's Mexican-American, right? Like, you know, that's what it is. And that's how the card kind of fell. When they're talking about Muhammad Al-Akel is in there. Well, that's for the Saudi group, right? And, you know, you got Christian Mabili, who's Haitian, French-Canadian, from Montreal, is the WBC interim defending his or fighting at the card against the Guatemalan guy from Terence Crawford's camp, Lester Martinez, right? That's one of his main sparring partners. So, but if me and Professor T were building the card, absolutely Christian Mabili versus Lester Martinez would be right up there. And honestly, they could be a main event on most of the zone cards. It's just that for this particular case, what Dana White and the Zuffa Boxing Group is doing is they're introducing and kind of like a grand opening of free boxing to everyone. So they kind of had to they did, I think, 6 of the fights on the YouTube portion so that you don't even have to be on Netflix if you don't have Netflix subscription. So you can watch that for free. And you notice too, Professor T, it starts at 3 p.m. Pacific time, our time, in Las Vegas. So that probably works out for some of the people overseas, right? Yep. It's a little bit better because the nighttime for them would be pretty harsh by the, but so again, this was designed for the casual 300 million subscribers doing it. Having said that, Canelo Crawford went from, and I want to get your take on this, Professor T.
Yeah.
It went from, damn, no one even asked for this fight. Right? It went from that to, man, this is a 50-50, man. I don't know. It's kind of exciting.
I don't know how that happened. Seriously, I am mind boggled. I am baffled. I'm hurt because this was one of my signature calls here, and it's no longer a signature call. I called this one, meaning that, hey, just Bud in general. You know what I mean? If you want to be safe by decision, which is even wilder to me because no one would ever expect him to win by decision. It's Canelo, right? But, B, the knockout, with the knockout, I mean, that's really the only way you can go now to make money because the odds are so wild on this fight. I'm going to check again while we're talking, but it's just amazing to me that there's not any money to be made on betting just straight up in terms
Not yet.
Terence.
Not yet. So we were covering it this morning on ATP Combat Media. They do their shows like 6:30 in the morning Pacific time. So that'd be like 8:30 in the morning for you, right, Professor T? So it's a really early morning show. But the odds were, as of this morning, plus 160 was the best that we could get for Crawford, which you and I both know is ass if you're trying to bet.
Well, you're not doing that. It's not even, it's not worth the risk.
Not worth the risk. Not worth the risk. But let me give you some good news, right? And this is kind of my strategy, if you guys want to know. So we did a 2-hour kind of just overall debate on 15 rounds worth of questions on who you're picking, Crawford or Canelo, depending on the question. Who has more speed, who has better accuracy, and all that stuff, right?
Right.
Now, in a classical debate, and I always explain this to everyone, Professor T, if you're really good and you really do love the sport, even if you're being asked to debate, you can go against even your own belief because you know the information. So on today's purpose, because I'm rocking with Crawford, I always have, right?
Right.
But I had to take the affirmative on why Canelo might be the better one, right? Yeah. So the way it worked out was it was the person that did Crawford had a 10-5 for Crawford. On my score, I had a 10-7 Canelo, and then the middle guy got it 9-8 Crawford. But it just kind of shows you the 3 levels of why it's so even. Right. And having said that, I believe that come this weekend and going into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and all the Latin people start coming into town and all the overseas international people start coming into town and the hype starts to become real, a lot of that money is going to swing Canelo. And when the money swings Canelo, then the Crawford money should go up to plus 300. So I'm waiting for it to say plus 300, and then I'm going bam. I'm putting it on Crawford.
Yeah.
Right. Because I think you and I know that there is a reality that if what you're trying to do is betting and you're trying to make money on a fight like this,
Right.
there's very few things you could pick. Like you could pick knockout by Crawford. The odds for that's pretty good, Professor T.
900. Yeah, it's 900, I believe.
Okay.
So
But let's be honest. Let's be honest. And you're one of the biggest, if not maybe the biggest Terence Crawford fan out there.
correct.
Are you putting hard money on plus 900 for knockout?
You know, that's a great question. And the honest answer is yes. It's just not going to be.
Really?
It's not going to be.
Okay.
You know, I'll be honest. I'm just going to throw it out there. I'll probably put $100 on
Okay.
to knock him
Just
out.
in case.
Be a
You're
grand.
saying just in case.
That's $1,000. That's $1,000.
Okay. Okay.
Right?
All right.
$100 will get
$100 isn't too crazy. It's not like your
Exactly.
$5,000, $10,000, $1,500 bet. You know what I mean? That's not too crazy.
Exactly.
All right. Okay.
So
Okay.
that is a guaranteed for me. And the only reason being is because I honestly just for whatever wild, dumb, crazy reason believe that this kid's gonna have the ability to do it. And
It's not dumb.
well,
It's not dumb.
yeah, you know what I mean? I just really believe he's gonna shine in this moment. Because this is, make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, this is Terence Bud Crawford's moment. There is no other moment he's gonna get in his career. It doesn't matter. Jerron Boots in this really didn't matter. Anybody else you think of doesn't really matter. This is his feather in his cap. So I'm going to bet that my man is absolutely going to come out shining and doing everything he can to create a knockout. Terence Crawford has never ever not fought for a knockout, if you will. And that's part of the criticism, right? That he gets hit. So,
Right.
you know,
Right.
you hit him and you make him mad, and now he'll war with you. He'll brawl,
Right.
he'll stand in the phone booth, all
Right.
those things. So, with all of that happening, and you know what? You want to know something else? I don't really take all this serious, and people are, you know, the fact that, you know, Boots is training with Canelo. I really think Canelo's taking this a little bit lighter than he should.
Okay.
I really
Because do you think because Boots is there, or do you think just in general?
in general, I think he really believes that this kid is never going to be able to hurt me.
Really?
I really believe that. I believe that Canelo absolutely. He's like, dude, I've been in there with 200-pound guys, right at the light heavyweight division. This kid can't hurt me. I don't have to worry about that side, and I think that's going to be a mistake.
I agree with you. I definitely think it's a mistake to ever take Terence Crawford lightly, bro.
I don't think he's really fully 100% prepared for this.
Really? Because I have I have an opposite take on that.
Hey, that is my take. I think, you know, it'll be one out of the two. He'll either undertrain or overtrain. I know that it's.
I was leaning more towards overtrain if I was gonna say one or the other, just because I do know who's in Canelo's camp right now. Yoan Lee Hernandez, who's one of the best 160 pounders, man.
Hey.
When I talked to him 3 weeks ago, he said Canelo for real, bro. Like when he's hitting you in his arms and stuff, and these are with sparring gloves. He hits hard, and that's coming from one of the best 160s coming up right now, right? Might be a world champion before the year's even over. Okay. And then I think that Boots, in my opinion, I think Boots came into the camp because Boots Ennis is fighting Lima. Lima's a strong, hard kid. Eddie Hearn has a good relationship with Canelo Alvarez, so he was like, "Hey man, do you mind if Boots came in and sparred you?" And Canelo was probably like what you're saying. He's probably like, "Oh, fucking sure, come on in." Like, you know, but I kind of look at it reverse. Like in Canelo's mind, he didn't bring in Boots necessarily to mimic Crawford.
No.
I think he just I think he just was like, "Sure, man, if you want to spar me and you're one of the best out there, come and get some."
Right.
You know, because
I agree with that part. I mean, Canelo's I'm not going to say he's never ducked. We all know the biggest fight that should have and could have been made and still can't.
Benavidez.
Is Benavidez. Exactly.
Right.
You know? But for the most part, man, and maybe people may not know, I've been a Canelo fan, bro.
Yeah,
I love Canelo.
yeah.
The kid.
How can you not, right? How can you not? He's only lost twice.
Right.
It's Floyd and Bivol moving up to 175.
Two guys
right?
That probably Bivol lost, which is a controversial loss, right? To Bitter.
Right.
Shout out Scully. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Shout out to Scully. Yeah. I still rock with Beterbiev, which, by the way, like, it kind of proves to you, not to get off track on Canelo Crawford, but it kind of proves to you that the first fight, people said it was close. I had Beterbiev. The second fight, people says it was close. I had Beterbiev. I'm just, I'm just saying. Now, maybe that's just because I rock with Beterbiev, but at the end of the day, right? And Scully knows this. Beterbiev's already fighting again.
Yes.
Bivol went and had a surgery for whatever reason, whatever that minor surgery or whatever it is. But now Beterbiev's going to get a chance to fight Benavidez. Now, I want you to think about that one for a second. If Benavidez versus Beterbiev happens in 2026, that is one of the biggest all-action fights we're ever going to see, bro.
All time.
I mean, we're talking Castillo Corrales at the highest level, like 175.
That's
it's going to be insane. So really, at the end of the day, I think Bivol made a calculated mistake in thinking that by barely beating Beterbiev, he's all of a sudden great. And it's like, bro, Crawford beats Canelo and then sails off to the sunset.
Yeah.
And then Beterbiev and Benavidez happens. People are going to start to forget who Bivol is, bro. Like,
Yeah, people over here anyways, for sure. Because, the American fans are finicky.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you're not a household name, good luck.
Yeah. No, but back to this whole narrative with Canelo and Crawford and who Canelo's bringing in. I think, personally, I think Canelo's at a point in his career where he'll take on all comers. He's not afraid of anyone. I'm talking like, how you get to that mode and then you're close to the fight, right? Like if there was ever a time where if you were doing an interview with Canelo and you asked him about Benavidez,
right?
This is probably a moment where Canelo Raw honestly would believe in his own head, I'd beat the shit out of Benavidez. You know what I mean, right? Like, because he's in that mind frame. Now, you flip that to the other side. That's exactly why we kind of think Crawford has a great chance of winning, because Crawford's not afraid of anyone, right?
Anybody.
And if you were to ask him right now, if you were to walk up to Crawford right now and say, hey, Terence, if so-and-so were to fight you, how do you think it would play out? Don't you think Terence is Bud's at a point where he will just say, I will beat the shit out of anyone in any weight division right now?
Absolutely.
10 days away.
I agree. I think you are spot on. He's just got that mentality of something you can't teach. And that's the thing. Like, I'll give Canelo the same, man. Canelo had to be, and this is the problem with your average fighter fan and how they view these things. They take these, people just flying off the handle, saying whatever. Oh, he's scared to fight. None of these guys are scared to fight each other. I'm just going to tell y'all that right now. That's one of the things I hate. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're not scared to lose their zero, or they're not scared to be axed from the public eye, if you will, in terms of having a blemish. But 100%, there ain't a single one of these dudes walking around scared to fight. I'm sorry. Do you believe that? I don't believe that. I think they all understand they can lose at any given day from a given punch, but the chances of that, right, based on their skill set and their own confidence and belief, that's slim to none. So,
all right.
I don't buy it, and I don't know, man. I think this is going to be a great fight. It's going to be a great fight for a lot of reasons, and I don't see how it does go to a decision.
I mean, and I know you've been saying that from the very beginning. You keep saying someone's getting knocked out one way or another, and you're gonna rock with your guy to be able to do it. And as you know, I'm always the analytical one on the other side, saying to myself, you know, if Crawford's never been knocked out and Canelo's never been knocked out, why would it happen in this fight? Correct. Right?
Correct.
But just again, earlier today, someone asked me, well, how do you think this fight's going to go? And you and I, we've talked about how it's so hard to really predict. Like, this is one of those times where if you're trying to make a prediction, it's really tough to predict it, but it could go the same way Leonard Hagler went.
Yes.
Where, you know, Leonard had to kind of pull off the last 30 seconds and, you know, barely win by majority decision. It could go that way. Correct. It's possible.
Correct.
But what you've been saying this whole time is it can go the other way. It could be Hagler Hearns. And this thing from the jump, Terence Crawford could be like, you know what, man? You know, I've always thought Canelo's small. This is why I took the challenge in the first place.
Right.
You know, I'm going to be at my strongest and freshest right here, round 1 to 3.
Ever.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened if you think about it with Hagler Hearns. They didn't really start with a jab, you know what I mean? They just kind of
it was just bombs. It was bombs from the rip.
So and how great would that be for boxing if you really think about it? If it ends up the way you're saying it ends up, where we see here's a knockdown, and then oh, Canelo's cut, oh, Crawford, and then it ends in this dramatic fashion, the same way Hagler Hearns ended. Right. Hagler Hearns was such an epic fight that to this day we talk about it, bro.
Epic.
Right, and we don't even make fun of Hearns. We like look at it and we say to ourselves, that's why Hearns is one of the top 10 greatest fighters of all time.
All time.
Yeah, because we see him at that light. We like go, no, man. He took on challenges. He wasn't scared of crap. You know, he didn't back down to nobody. He won all these. So it's kind of like, what's the worst case scenario for Crawford? The way you're saying it. Crawford goes in there, turns it into a war, loses the war.
Yes.
We're still going to always think Crawford is like in the Hearns kind of conversation.
100%. And that's even if he gets knocked out. And that's the thing I don't want to even bring into the air, but I have to be objective. Can Terence Bud Crawford get knocked out? Absolutely, as in Mayweather when he would say that. It's very possible because Bud doesn't know how to chill. And we all know what that means. Well, I shouldn't say we all, right? A lot of people in the fight game knows what that means. Meaning, regardless, Bud has that mentality I had as a kid. I do not care that I may lose this fight. You may kill me, but guess what? When it's all said and done, you're going to wish you never laid hands on me. I don't care how the fight goes. And that's that thing that Bud has. You touch me, I got to get some get back. There's no question. There's no, we going to, keep this on the outside, use my stick. No, Bud is coming for blood. And that's what's going to cause the problem for him, potentially. That's going to be a potential problem. What do you think about that? Because I think that is the fight, ladies and gentlemen. That ball right there in itself, I think, is what it's going to boil down to.
Well, I mean, you were there for when, and people forget this because you know how revision is history, right? So and believe me, again, I was on a 2-hour program talking Canelo Crawford, and I had to take the affirmative of explaining to people why Canelo could very well beat Crawford, right? And all of my points were extremely valid. But I can make the same argument. In fact, I probably make a better argument for Crawford just because I like Crawford so damn much, right? Like, I could probably make a better argument for Crawford if I'm being honest. But what you're talking about is Crawford's the type of guy who, you remember the Porter fight. Hey, you're losing the fight. And he's like, I'm losing the fight? And in 2 rounds, he knocked him out, right? He's, Benavidez Jr., same thing. Like, all right, you want to throw down? Remember when he had Benavidez Jr.? And he was like, let's throw down then. That was still one of the best fights to see live, right? And you were there live for Canelo Errol Spence. And because revision is history, people forget that Errol Spence was such a favorite, or a lot of Errol Spence people. Now, I'm not one of them, and you know that for a fact. When you asked me straight up, I said, no, Terence Crawford's going to whoop that ass. Right. And I told you why, too. I said, Errol Spence has never been the same since the car crash.
True.
Terence Crawford is still Terence Crawford. So I was like, no, man, Terence Crawford is about to put a whooping that everybody's going to be shocked. Now, I didn't think he was going to knock him down with a jab or nothing like that.
Right.
But I did think that he was going to stop him. I thought he would knock him out, because I felt like, there was going to come a time where Errol Spence, that part of himself is going to show up. But not to ever take it away. Errol Spence is a great fighter. If Errol Spence were to come back right now, Errol Spence would beat a lot of these people, right?
At his weight level,
right?
100%.
But Crawford is another level. And he continues to prove he's another level. And how many more times does he have to prove to everyone that he's at another level, right? And I get it. And I'm talking about, again, don't take what the news narrative has given you about Terence Crawford. Just do your own eye test. Okay, just watch it from the first world title fight all the way, from the time he fought Brettis Prescott, and Brettis Prescott had knocked out Amir Khan during that time, right? And just keep going up and keep watching all of Terence Crawford's fights, and you're going to kind of see the reason why me and Professor T love him so damn much. He's been the best American fighter for us this entire time, and it's not really his fault that he's not as popular as Mayweather.
No,
they weren't pumping him up as they weren't.
That's the thing, bud. He's never been that type of guy either. He lets his fist do the talking, his ring generalship, his work in the ring, do those things for him. Because the one difference about Bud that I can honestly say, which is a little different, well, a lot different from your Mayweather's career, which is it kind of has fallen the exact opposite. And I don't know how. I haven't paid attention. I haven't looked. But what I mean by this is Bud's been knocking people out late. Bud didn't start out. I mean, obviously he started out knocking people out. But what I mean is that he didn't have to make a transition and change, for his hands, right? Being brittle, any of those kind of things, injuries. He actually started getting a higher knockout percentage as time went on and as he moved up in weight classes. There's just so much to this kid that I don't know that people really comprehend. They talk about Canelo, right? About partially why he's not been knocked out. And I agree with this, meaning that I think there is something to it. Canelo is an avid horse rider. I don't know if you knew this.
I said this on episode 3 of our show. So I did the whole he's an equestrian rider since he was 8.
Right.
But go ahead. Go retell the story.
Yeah, exactly. So, I forget. I think you actually even said, you told this story about how Max Kellerman was saying, hey, the guy's never lost or got knocked out, I should say, or knocked down even because of his legs. It's because of the horse riding. I believe that. I wholeheartedly believe that. I think that has a lot to do with it. Anytime you have your legs come to the party, ladies and gentlemen, it's the largest muscles in your body. That's where all your power comes from, the hips. A lot of people don't know this stuff. It's not, it's the hips. So it's just going to be very interesting, man. Before we keep diving in, we got people that's tuning in, man. So Nerd, shout out to Nerd. You can be brave and still get your ass whooped. You ain't never lied about that, Nerd. That is nothing but the truth right there. 100%. We got God, family, and Raiders for life coming through. Salute. Appreciate you for coming through. I hope you enjoy the show. Canelo is whooping that ass. Just popping in to hit the like. Salute, fam. Please, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, we are actually super duper close. We only needed, I think, 9 more subscribers tonight. To hit that 100 mark, please like, subscribe, and last but not least, hit that notification button so you know that we're here, right? We got Professor E in the building. Canelo hasn't stopped anyone in years. Another one, Canelo got slow feet. He's going to get picked apart. I want to talk about that too, because there's some truth to that. But as Coach Angelo already said, Canelo's probably not even going to be looking to hit a major part, if you will, meaning, body liver shots, if you will, or head shots, probably till the second half of the fight. He's going to be looking to hit body parts, things that he can damage, right? That's a whole nother conversation too, we'll, I'm sure, get into. But yeah, I agree, Professional E. I totally agree. And then we got one guy in, I don't know. Yeah. Okay. The Big Channel is in the building. Shout out to the Big Channel. Canelo have the record to prove that he is a better fighter than TC. Plain and simple. In addition, TC have never fight in that weight and never have faced a boxer like Canelo. He ain't never lied. You're telling the 100% truth. Terence Crawford has seen nothing of the likes of what he's about to run into. That's a game. There's no way you get me to lie about that one or try to sugarcoat it. You know what I mean? It's a guarantee that this is the biggest fight in his life. Period.
I mean, and I want to add on to what you had said earlier, because again, if you're a boxing fan, and again, we're not talking to the hardcores who will rewatch tape. I mean, there was a hardcore earlier today on the ATP Combat Media Show where he's from the UK and he literally rewatched all of Canelo's fights and all of Crawford's fights before he jumped onto the panel just to explain his point, right? And we're talking more, you and me, Professor T, we're talking to the casual fan. Right. And if you're a casual fan, you're going to be fed a narrative. So what we're asking you to do is don't fall into that narrative. Go make your own narrative. Right. And I promise you, if you go on YouTube and type in Terence Crawford, even Terence Crawford highlights, right? You can, I'm sure you'll see it. If you put Canelo highlights, there's a lot of different breakdowns out there already, right? So again, but having said that, what Professor T is talking about when he's saying Terence Crawford, that is oftentimes not reflected is, and I want to say this so it's factual that people will know. So when he won his light weight title against Ricky Burns, right? Remember how I remember? Yeah, he talked about that. He said, "Hey, I remember fighting Ricky Burns. That was for 140. That was unanimous decision." But after that, he knocks out Gamboa, then knocks out and that was at 135.
Correct.
And then he moves up to light welterweight. That's 140. And this is what you were saying, Professor T. What Professor T was saying is what Terence Crawford did as he continued to move up. If we're just tracking records, if we're just going to talk facts, is as Terence Crawford moved up, he tended to start knocking a lot of people out. So what Professor T's narrative of what he's talking about is, why wouldn't it be impossible for Terence Crawford to move up damn near 3 weight classes, right? Bring the skills that he has and knock Canelo out, right? And that's why I was telling him, I said, I don't think that's a wrong narrative. I mean, I understand why you would want to put $100 on plus 900, because honestly, if we were millionaires, I'd put in a hell of a lot more than 100. Just because it's plus 900. Just because it's plus 900 and you never know. I mean, remember, guys, that a knockout is a knockout when they say it's a stoppage. If Canelo breaks his hand and the fight stops, if Canelo gets cut and the fight stops, if Canelo tears his shoulder and the fight stops, right? All of these things can happen. So plus 900 on a Crawford stoppage, is it really impossible? No. I wouldn't say it's impossible.
Right.
So if you have money and you're willing to go ahead and whatever, if $100 to use like $10, or maybe you only have $10,
right?
So put in $10.
Exactly.
You get $100 back.
I agree. No, I agree. And again, these types of fights don't come around often, where there are legit potential, upsets. Because make no mistake about it, this is going to be an absolute upset if Terence Crawford wins this fight. It's an upset. There's no two ways about it. But knowing that it's really not an upset, like Coach is saying, to the average, the casuals, 100%, this is exactly that. But to the people that are in the fight game, we get it. Everyone's playing it up. Everyone's going to talk about the weight, and that's really why they're going to choose the bigger man for the most part. But again, if you know your facts about this fight, and this is why Professor T is all over it, because I know the genetic makeup of Terence Bud Crawford as far as the athlete. And where I think Canelo is going to really be shocked is the strength of Terence Crawford. He already, deadlifts an astronomical amount of weight more than his size. He's a wrestler. We talk about these things because they matter, right? I've already said it a million times. Wrestling's probably even more so than boxing in some ways one of the hardest sports to train for. Period. And then to have that strength on top of it, and then just the natural God-given talent and gifts, I think it's his coming out party. People thought that Spence was his coming out party. I think that was just the appetizer. I think that was the appetizer. Some would say he gave us a dud, right, in his first 160-pound fight. I wouldn't say that.
154. It was 154 with Madrimov.
Right.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I am excited thoroughly for this fight.
Yeah. Where I'll probably disagree with Professor T is I don't think this is Bud Crawford's grand arrival, because I think Crawford arrived a long time ago.
Oh well, yeah. He arrived a long time ago.
Yeah, I think this is actually, if what happens is what Professor T is saying, in where Bud Crawford, and we're talking about the fantasy that, let's say Bud Crawford goes in there, he knocks him out, and ends up being like a 3-round war like Hagler Hearns was.
Right.
I think that because he's saying that Canelo will be very surprised by Bud Crawford's strength, right?
Correct.
I think if anything, this is Bud Crawford's crescendo. I think this is the last act.
Right.
Because why would you come back? Like, you know what I'm saying? Why come back? Just go away now. Like, you're done, bro. You're 42-0. But people will say, yeah, well, Mayweather's last fight was Berto and McGregor. Crawford's last fight was Canelo. You know what I mean? Like there's going to be this whole, the more recent people are going to compare the two back to back with each other, right?
Right.
But again, I say to everyone that I can sit here, and I promise you guys tonight, because I'm seeing the comments, I will tell you all the reasons why Canelo can beat Crawford and should honestly beat Crawford. Like, if we're being real about it, right? Well, again, me and Professor T, whether it's betting odds, whether it's because of bias, because we like him so much, maybe it's because we like the idea that an American fighter can actually be the best fighter in the world, right? There's all the reasons for it. So we realize we're hoping that what happens is that, okay? But we're not gonna try to shove it down your throat. Like, we don't also realize, because Professor T said it in the beginning of the show, Canelo could very well knock out Terence Crawford, and that's
very much. You're not going to hear me say that out loud a lot, ladies and gentlemen. And in fact, that might be the only time you hear it.
Right. So, but having said that, if it doesn't turn into war, like Hearns Hagler,
right,
and now it becomes like maybe the narrative is Crawford does what he always does, download information. But it's hard to download information when the other guy you're fighting, like Canelo, is the same type of IQ fighter.
Right.
He also downloads information, right?
On top of the pressure.
Right. So is it possible? And again, this is more a recency comparison. I'm not trying to compare fighters to fighters. I'm just saying style of fight.
Right.
But is it possible that the beginning of this could be more like how Pacquiao Mayweather was? Remember, like when they started the first 3 rounds,
it was
they were kind of trying to like, well, what are you gonna do? Well, what are you gonna do?
Yes, it was very few punches thrown. A lot of posturing, right? A lot of feints, a lot of where's this gonna go, like you said. And it never ever did materialize. That was the unfortunate, terrible part about that fight. And hey, I'm sorry. I would like to hear where you put the onus on that, because in my opinion, I put the onus on Pacquiao to be that guy. We knew Floyd Mayweather was never going to step outside of his comfort zone. He is going to fight the way he fights. Everyone felt like something was missing. In my opinion, I think it was Manny Pacquiao who decided not to take those chances he'd taken every fight of his life previous to this one. Now all of a sudden it became a chess match, and I think he lost because of that. I really believe that's partially why he lost. He tried to play a game that he hadn't mastered, and you tried to do it against the master, and it kind of backfired. What's your thoughts on that?
No, I mean, again, as you know, back then I was with one team, and then I went to the other team, and I got to see both. So by the time the two of them did fight, I didn't want to be in the. I didn't want to go. I was like, I'm gonna be completely in the middle, y'all. Like, I love you both. Thank you very much for everything. Love everyone. But in 2010, when I was with Freddie, as you remember, we thought that I was in Canada when the press was asking Freddie, and we were there together with one of his other world champions, and we really thought 2010 Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather was going to happen.
Right.
And at that time, and again, you have to keep in mind that I was obviously Team Pacquiao at this point. All I've seen up to this point. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've respected Floyd from the outside outside looking in, but I hadn't been in there to see what it's really all about. So 2010 Pacquiao, bro, if you want to go back and remember, we were very confident that Manny might have actually tore him up, right? Like,
yes,
again, okay?
He was at his
peak. But again, this is where I say but to everybody who's a Mayweather fan. When I got a chance to go to the Mayweather team and the Mayweather in 2012, moving forward and getting a chance to see how he did things, how he trained for Canelo, how he trained for all these fights, and watched Mayweather's, not only his IQ, but his work ethic and how he did it, I started to understand why Jim Lampley has always felt, even if they fought when they were younger, even if they fought in 2015, which is when they did, even if they fought later on, it was always going to end up the same way. You got a master counterpuncher against a master attacker.
Yes. Yeah.
It was always going to end up the same way.
Yeah.
So the reason why you might have felt like that wasn't a good fight versus I actually really liked it.
I thought it was a great fight. I'm talking from the fans, like the
casual fans, from the casual fans standpoint.
I loved every bit of it. I thought
me too. I was like right there. I was like, oh my God, this is so intense. Exactly. I don't know what's gonna happen next, right?
Yeah.
But to the casual fans, I would say the onus number one would be Manny Pacquiao really did hurt his shoulder, right? Now, he had enough juice for, let's call it, the first 6 rounds, and then that shoulder was pretty much shot.
Yep.
Now, no excuses. A loss is a loss. But you saw what it looked like when he did buzz Mayweather a bit, right? You saw what it looked like when he was vintage Manny Pacquiao attacking like he does, right? We also saw what it looks like when we see vintage Floyd with counterpunching. And that it doesn't really matter whether you're a southpaw or an orthodox. Floyd just taxes that ass like he always does, right? His counter, like he never gets enough credit, in my opinion, Professor T, for how hard Floyd really hits. Yes. Like he hits so damn hard. It's like a bazooka, man. So those jabs that Manny Pacquiao was feeling, or those counter rights, like when he would slip it in, those hurt. None of those tickled y'all
at all. That's why Manny had to second guess that whole attack master class, if you will. That works until you're up against a master defender, right? A master at his own craft. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I think that I would like to, and I know this sounds crazy, so, and I don't want to get off of the Canelo Crawford topic too much. I would not mind at all if Manny Pacquiao on December 27th reclaims the WBA world title, beating Rolly Romero. Hey.
I would absolutely love a 50-year-old Mayweather to come out, okay, against a 47-year-old Manny Pacquiao for the world title, bro. I will be here for all of it. I'd be like, yes, make it happen, baby. Like, did you know what I'm saying? Right?
I do.
Now, again, for you guys who might be laughing at me right now, and there's a lot of people watching us tonight. We really appreciate you. Yeah. I promise Professor T is going to get to your comments here as soon as I'm finished with what I'm about to say. But if you're laughing at me, you're saying, "Oh man, coach is crazy. I don't know why he's talking about this." You guys are about to see Jake Paul versus Tank Davis. Oh. That's ridiculous. That's a circus. All right?
Complete.
If Floyd Mayweather were to come back to fight for the world title against Manny Pacquiao in a rematch, why would that be a circus, man? If Manny Pacquiao just beat a guy in his 20s to win a world title,
yes,
then it's legit that if Floyd comes back to rematch Manny, and the controversy will be, well, Manny's shoulder was hurt. And they're kind of equal because Floyd's 50, right? Manny's 47.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting, right? And that's what I mean. And as I've always told you, and I know it sounds super biased because I was with Uncle Roger Mayweather, God bless him. But I think if Floyd were to come out right now, he would beat the hell out of Mario Barrios. Yeah. He would beat the brakes out of Rolly Romero. He would beat the heck out of whoever wins the IBF between Crocker and Donovan. About the only guy that I think maybe might give him a hard time, maybe, is Brian Norman. And I still think he might beat the brakes out of Brian Norman just because I don't know yet. I still think Brian Norman versus Haney's 50-50, bro. And by the way, you're gonna like this, Professor T. I said that straight to Brian Norman Sr. when I was talking to him just a few weeks ago on one of the podcasts. I said, respectfully, your son is amazing and we want to see him do great, but we also feel like we need to see him beat the brakes off Devin Haney to know he is up there. Right?
Haney can fight. Whether you love or hate Devin Haney, right? All of the, hoopla, social, he can fight. He can fight. He's a hell of a fighter. There's a reason he's where he is. And the hard work and dedication is all there in terms of Devin Haney. So
Right.
You can crack the jokes, all that good stuff. Yeah, let's hit some of these comments, man, because I want to make sure they're hearing themselves, man. Gaming Canelo. It's gonna be like the Caleb Plant fight. He's gonna get knocked down by the end rounds and win by majority. Who's gonna win by majority? That's an interesting take.
I think he's saying Canelo's gonna win by majority.
Yeah, he's saying Canelo as well. We got Nerd. Even sooner, Plant was a harder fighter to get to due to size, height, and speed. So Hey, it looks like Nerd is maybe agreeing. I don't know. We got Professional E. How's Canelo versus Southpaws? His best performance was versus Ryder. Everyone else was close. Was Ryder?
Yeah, right. But I think what he's trying to say is, so you have to remember too, though, Professional E, that the Lara fight is still one of the most controversial fights, right?
Right.
For a lot of people still believe Lara really beat Canelo. So that kind of answers your questions about how does Canelo do against Southpaws.
And I will be back. Don't worry. I know the cameras. I actually, unfortunately, I have to cut Instagram when this happens. I mean, Instagram. I have to give a break to our people over at TikTok because
the TikTok folks.
I know the TikTok folks. I'm sorry.
We love the TikTok folks.
We'll be right back, though. You know, Turf's camera's messing up, so I gotta get rid of the TikTok in order to get that working again. Sorry,
guys. Yeah. Again, we're working out the kinks. This is episode 6.
Nah, this is just me overusing my camera, and now I gotta make sure. Let's see. Yeah, normally this just works. MX.
Keep it patient, guys. We're trying to bring Professor T right back and continue to read your comments.
We're back.
All right.
Let me just get it to where. All right, at least it looks the way you would expect. I think we're back.
All right.
We're back. We're good. Okay.
So he's going to continue reading everybody's comments. Sorry about that.
Let me finish. We got Bright in the building. Shout out to Bright. Appreciate you coming through. Hope you enjoy the show. Bud might stop him and ruin so many plans. It can happen. Bud is a special fighter. Bright, bingo, bang. That is exactly 100% how I feel. He is a special fighter. Special fighters do special things. That's where I'm at with it. So I don't disagree with you at all with that one. We got Nerd back. According to Doug Fisher from the Ring Magazine, he claims Bud is the favorite, according to the insiders, trainers, and boxers. So is it an upset when 60% is picking Bud? It's a great question.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's more of an insider thing. Earlier, we were talking about the gambling side, and we can tell you right now, if you look it up on any app, I believe Bud Crawford is plus 160, meaning he's the underdog. So it just means more people are betting for Canelo is all that really means.
Correct. All right. Yeah, I'm still trying to work my camera. Okay, one last one we got from the Big Apple channel. As great as TC is, he will not KO Canelo. Let's track Canelo fights. Tell me when he have been knocked down, essentially when fighting boxers, bigger and heavier than him. I tell you, never. And that is true. That is facts. You're 100% correct, the Big Apple. You are 100% correct.
And we agree with you, by the way. I did a whole thing about this where I talked about we've never seen Canelo get even hurt, right? And I was there for both of the Golovkin fights, the ones where Golovkin was at his peak. I felt that Golovkin, I'm telling you, just from ringside, all right? I could hear the damn punches. They were both hitting extremely hard, Professor T. It was one of the most exciting fights I'd seen. I honestly believed on my scorecard, watching it then and there, I scored it for Golovkin. And I scored it for Golovkin heavy, by the way. I was like, Golovkin definitely won the first fight.
Right.
I could have even argued 8-4, but for sure, I had him winning 7-5. Then after time, watching it on tape, talking to other people, I still to this day have Golovkin winning that first fight, bro. To this day, I still have Golovkin winning the first fight.
Yep.
The second fight, I can rock with you if you want to say maybe Canelo edged it, maybe. But when I was there live, I still scored it for Golovkin. And at the best that I scored it for Canelo against Golovkin on the second fight was a draw, bro. So again, and we're talking about Triple G, baby.
Yeah.
Triple G is one of the hardest punchers to ever come into the game, right? I mean, like I'm gonna ask Professor T, who is a huge Crawford guy, who hits harder, Triple G or Crawford?
100% Triple G. There's no question. There's no way that Bud could ever channel that. Now I don't care how strong Bud is. I mean, Triple G was a special fighter. And I'll be honest, I think people were actually scared of Triple G.
Oh, absolutely, bro. There was major duckage happening on Triple G.
I gave all of that, fluff and all of props to the fighters, but nah, some of those fighters definitely ducked Triple G. 100%.
Right. But so to Big Apple, it's not that we don't disagree. We agree with you. We agree that it would be something that Crawford would be proving to everyone if he were to do what Professor T's talking about, where he knocks him out, right? But to Professor T's point, that's all Crawford keeps doing. No one thought he was going to do that to Errol Spence, except maybe me. Well, except me. I'm just saying.
I'll give you your props. You did. You definitely called that one.
Right. But yes, and if we pick the whole thing apart, if Canelo is older because he's been fighting since he was 15, so let's call that a good 20 years worth of fighting already. And if he's fought a lot of these wars, like the Triple G wars and Bevo and name all of the fights, right? You never know when your body finally says one night,
no.
No more, right?
It's over.
Right.
It's over.
So, and Crawford is a guy who, whether people like to admit it or not, just do your own research so you can have your own narrative. But you and I both know this to be true, Professor T, that Crawford is one of the best inside sniper style fighters. He's like, when he fights on the inside, especially when he can see the opening, so he'll switch southpaw. Right. Or he'll switch orthodox depending on the opening, right? He hits like a sniper, but the sniper are like 50 caliber bullets. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Right? So when he's hitting you with a jab, like what he did to Errol Spence, it's enough to knock you down. So why wouldn't it be impossible for Crawford to hurt Canelo?
Right.
That's all we were trying to say, right? That's all Professor T was saying.
And Bright, you are right. Let's pull up Bright, man. Okay, but hear me out. Triple G had more raw power, sure. But Canelo saw his shots coming. That is huge because you're right. And anything you see coming, you absolutely can prepare for whether you brace or not, right? Crawford's timing, angles, and sneaky counters could catch Canelo off balance. That's why Bud might drop him. And I don't disagree at all. Crawford is more skilled than those guys, right? It's the shots that you don't see coming. And last but not least, Crawford can hit him and catch a flash knockdown in between them wide ass hooks. Bright, you talking like you know something. I'm going to just say, I like everything you're saying. You don't sound like a casual. You know what
Bright's putting $1,000 on that plus 900.
Bright got Brad. He putting 1,000 on the knockout. And I would do that too. If I had the 1,000 this time around, and I'm not going to lie to you either, though, Bright. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm as confident of a knockout of Canelo like I was a win for Andy Ruiz over the Brit.
In Madison Square Garden.
I'm not going to say I'm confident like that.
Right. But the odds were crazy for that, too. You remember.
Wow. That's why I bet that fight. That was wild. That was a wild fight. I'll never forget that for as long as I live.
You made a lot of money that night.
I made a ton of well, it's like finally, people ask all the time, why do you do this stuff, right? Everyone else, why do you watch this stuff so much? Why do you do it? Because it paid me over 10 grand. I watched it. I learned. I knew something, and it came to fruition, man. It came to fruition. So
well, plus 900 is probably going to turn into plus 1,000, plus 1,400. I don't know, man. You might have to throw a grand.
Exactly, because I'm telling you right now, if it goes past 900, Turf is moving that dollar sign up. I'm just telling you, it's win. I mean, I come to win, ladies and gentlemen. I don't come to just get a couple of dollars. I come to win. So if you see Turf betting on something, you already know the odds are going to be outrageous, and anybody that doesn't know are going to, really question what the heck you're doing.
So now again, we talk about our fandom and our appreciation for Crawford, but in all honesty, yes, Canelo, at least within this lifetime, like if you're my son, and you're 21, you probably watched the greatest Mexican fighter in front of your eyes growing up, right? Like, 100%. Like you and I are older, so we can pull back and go, well, we remember watching this person, and Chavez and Salvador Sanchez, and we can go all the way back. But if you lived in the last 20 years, 15 years, you're gonna be like, all I know is Canelo. All I've seen is Canelo. Right. All I can remember with my own eyes is the greatness of Canelo, and just keep that in mind, that Canelo, who is going to be 3 years younger when they fight next week, Canelo is I get the whole height thing when people say, well, he's not really that much bigger than Crawford, right. But honestly, guys, if you've been around Canelo live like I have, I'm telling you, his neck is huge.
It's crazy.
His neck is huge.
It's crazy.
His shoulders are mad big, man. And his thighs are I'm not saying he's Saquon Barkley, but his thighs are bigger than Crawford's, right?
He's not going to the store just picking up pants.
Right.
He's going to have that tailored. Otherwise, they're going to be tight.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So that's the thing is, it's like, and I've also, when I was around Crawford, he was in the 135, 140. And even then, I felt like he's a big 135, big 140, right? So I knew eventually he'd probably move up to 147. But 168, man, that's a hell of a climb.
And that is the big problem. That's the problem. And that's why I'm still mind boggled at why the odds are where they are. It's just not fair for the people that look at this stuff like myself. We should be getting a payday today for the risk that we're taking, because this is a risk.
I think the only thing I can think of, honestly, is because he's American, and I think that Vegas or the odds makers don't want to lose their shirt, maybe. So maybe they started the line too low.
Wait, bro, because I still don't understand this. I don't know. I've never seen this. No one's ever seen a fighter jump three weight classes, and you're only an underdog by plus 125. Come on, man, something ain't right.
Right.
All right.
I mean, but I can see major people with money betting heavy on Crawford. So maybe that's why it hasn't swung to the other side yet. So we really got to wait for all the Latin people, the Mexican people, all the Canelo fans to get to Vegas, start putting money heavy on Canelo.
And it should happen, because, I mean, in all honesty, you should be betting your house if you're a Canelo fan. You're never going to see anything like this. Look at Canelo's last odds. You can actually make money on this Canelo fight as a Canelo fan. And
that's true.
Able to sleep.
That's true.
Seriously, there's not going to be a closer fight.
Right. No, that's true.
Benavidez,
that's true.
The only one that probably, comes out 50-50.
Let me ask you this, actually, since you're looking at the odds. What's the odds right now for it going under? Under 11 rounds. You know how they do those odds?
Under 11 rounds? Yes. Let me look.
Because then that means it could be a knockout either way, or a stoppage either way.
Right. Let me look. Do they have the prop bets.
That might be the better bet for you guys who are listening to the show. We appreciate you, and for all you guys comment, we appreciate you guys. But maybe that's the bet. Maybe that's the bet. If it's plus money and it's under 11 rounds, maybe that's the bet to make.
Yeah, they have round. They have the betting rounds. They have so many prop bets, ladies and
They have a
gentlemen.
lot of prop bets.
So many, like
Okay.
rounds 1 and 2.
Okay, let me. So they don't have like an over under. They didn't give you a round over under.
Yeah, I'm trying to find specifically that. They have it so granular. They have it so granular.
Do you have? Did you already see what would be the odds for if Canelo knocked out Crawford?
Fight props. Hold on. It's plus 375.
Now if you want to make money, right?
Yeah.
If the narrative is,
Out.
yeah, if the narrative is you honestly believe that Canelo's bigger, Canelo's stronger, Canelo's this, Canelo's that,
Right.
plus 370 on a knockout,
Right.
that's pretty good odds.
Hey, minus 360 would a fight go to distance? Yes, minus 360. No, plus 255. That's another.
Bright is asking. Bright says he's putting 150 on the plus 900.
Yeah,
and then
well,
and then Bright says beating Canelo on scorecards is a damn near impossible task.
I agree, bro.
If you look at Canelo's history, okay, that's true. That's true.
There we go. Yes, I agree about that as well. And that might be the bet. Canelo.
That might be the bet. That might be the bet. Bright is also saying, though, he's saying, I haven't seen anyone talk about the draw, which is possible. I don't think Crawford gets a unanimous decision. It'll be a split or some robbery stuff might happen. It's Canelo in Vegas. You know what, Bright? Maybe that's a bet. What's the bet for draw? What's the bet for draw?
It is a bet. It is a bet. A draw is plus 1,400.
I mean, there you go. Maybe you
Draw is plus 1,400.
Yeah, maybe you put $100 on that.
Oh, yeah. You are, yes. Thank you, Bright. You need to come through, man. I like how you talk because you are giving us great betting price. I'm gonna put some money on this fight, and I'm putting money on this technical draw at 14.
Yeah. I'd like to see if we ever see a over under. If the under is a plus whatever.
Okay, so by rounds says over 10.5 minus 500, under 10.5 plus 325.
See, plus 325 under 10.5. So if you believe it's going to be a knockout, that's actually better odds than just betting straight up on Crawford right now. Because what you're saying is, I don't know who's going to knock out who, but I don't believe it's going to go past 10.5.
Correct.
So you put $100 on plus 325 right now, you get 425 back. That's, hey man,
yeah.
You put $1,000 on that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not bad.
Now you're starting to make some money. Yeah, no, I agree. We got to figure it out. But I already see 3 bets. I appreciate you, Bright. I got 3 bets already that I'm guaranteed betting, and it's definitely going to be, without a doubt, the draw. I'm betting on the knockout. I'm betting on the draw, and I will have another bet. And I'm not.
Yeah, maybe because you don't know who's gonna knock out who. Correct. Professor T, you bet on the under. That's plus 325.
Right.
You bet on the draw. That's plus 1,400. Right. And then for the hell of it, man, you throw that like what Bright's doing. You throw $100 on plus 900.
Yeah. Go get him. Go get him. I love it.
But honestly, the plus 370 for Canelo to knock him out. But you told me it's plus 325 for just the under period. I would just bet the under. I wouldn't bet the Canelo because that bet is too close. It's like, well, I don't really know who's going to get knocked out. I might as well put a lot of money on plus 325 instead of betting. It's kind of like playing roulette, right? Like I'd rather put it on the double numbers than on the one single red, 23.
Correct.
So
Yep.
But all right, but there you go. But yeah, no question about it, ladies and gentlemen. When me and Professor T have broken this down, we love Crawford. We want to see and we hope that Crawford does what some people feel is impossible, what others feel could be probable, what some experts are saying, oh no, he should be the favorite. Like, well, we're just excited that there's an actual fight where casuals are getting excited about it. They're showing the commercials on NFL games right now.
Yep.
Everybody's going to start talking about it. And by the way, it's free, everyone.
It's
free on Netflix. Free on YouTube, right? Professor T is going to somehow try to make it over here and get in the arena one way or another.
I'm getting in there. I don't know how, but I'm letting y'all know right now. Turf will be Professor T will be in the building.
Yeah,
it's usually in that building, right? Because it's the Raiders. But hey, that night on the 13th, it'll be Professor T in the building.
Right, Professor T will be there. Speaking of which, Professor T, I am going in that building this Saturday to watch UNLV versus UCLA.
Hey, that's gonna be a good game, I think.
Well, I hope that UNLV destroys them because if UCLA gets killed by the last team they just played, then I expect us to kind of destroy them too. And you need to come down here at some point because this is all the stuff you're missing, man. You're missing UNLV games.
I already know, man. I just got that young one, man. I got that young one. I'm working.
Damn it, get to the Olympics already.
Exactly. I'm working on him. I'm working.
When does this track thing again start? Is it starting next month already?
Yeah, indoor track. Shout out to indoor track. Shout out to just the track and field people in general. It's real.
And then Golden Gophers, your superstar girl.
That's
when does that start?
Right, the GGs, them Golden Gophers. They the season starts for gymnastics January 4th this year.
Okay, so we got some time.
We got
some time.
We got time. Yep.
All right. All right.
We're in the 4th of January. So yeah, we got plenty of time. And you are so right, man. Such an exciting fight. Haven't been this excited since Beterbiev Bivol won.
That was a hell of a fight.
It was.
That was a hell of a fight. And again, for you casuals who never got to see it, it's free on YouTube. You get the high quality. It's not bootleg. It's the real thing. Right. But also on that fight last year, I believe it was in October, the first Bivol Beterbiev, right? Right. That's where they also had Busta Rhymes, Missy Elliott, and Ciara doing a concert in Riyadh. Remember that?
That was sick.
That was sick. Well, at least for our demographic, for us, you know. I don't know about my son. I don't even know if he knows who Busta Rhymes is.
Oh, right? Exactly. He's talking fast.
Right. But Missy Elliott was our jam.
Fire.
But anyways, Professor T, that was fun talking Canelo Crawford 10 days away. You know, again, we're not neither one of us have hated on either fighter. We love both fighters. We've talked about how we're fans of both fighters. We just kind of want to see the American win this time. It's all it is, right? We got to have somebody up on the top. I mean, right now, pound for pound is Ukraine is Usyk, Japan is Inoue, Crawford's at 3, right? But then Bivol's at 4, Bam Rodriguez is at 5, Beterbiev is at 6, Nakatani from Japan is 7. So our next American was number 5, dude. So we have number 3 and number 5 from Texas, Bam Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And Canelo's number 8. And then finally Benavidez is in there. Right. So at least we have 2 more. We have Benavidez number 9 and Shakur Stevenson's number 10. So at least we have, what is it? We have 4 Americans on the pound for pound number 10. So that's good.
Right.
That's good.
Yep.
But all right.
We had one more thing to say, right? As always, we needed only just 9 people tonight. Hopefully those 9 subscribe. Hopefully everybody, the 2,000 viewers that have stopped through tonight, hopefully you at least like the video. And last but not least, for everyone that has subscribed already, please hit that notification button. We want y'all to come and get all this goodness. It is all for you. We love talking this combat sports stuff. So please don't forget, like and subscribe on all platforms. The Knockout Canvas. That is Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, X, right? All of your platforms, man. We appreciate the support. And yeah, man, we love doing this. Hey, thank you, Angelo. Last week was my problem. It's late for Turf. It's late for Professor T. I got to get myself. I took a nap tonight, so this was great.
Yeah. It's almost midnight for Professor T right now.
Yeah. My sister and her boys, they're all yelling at me because we had our draft. The family draft was tonight, and they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I had to take a nap before my show tonight. Otherwise, I'll be taking a nap during the show."
Right.
Like Coach said, man, we're getting this all worked out. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the content, and trust me, we're gonna have some serious guests. There's gonna be a lot going on this channel, man. Just stay tuned, man. You got anything else for the people?
No, just it was a fun. It's always fun talking bets with you, as you know.
Right.
And just really excited. 10 days from now, we're gonna see the fight of the century back on free TV. And if you are a football fan, NFL is back tomorrow night, baby.
Yeah.
So check out the Turf and Spence show on the Ultimate Raider Fan 32.
Right.
I might pop in because there is going to be a watch party.
Well, to be honest, what's going to happen, I'm hoping, is that you and Spence actually do it because Turf will be in Connecticut. Ladies and gentlemen, my flight is first thing in the morning.
Okay.
Going home, right? So
okay. Hey, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'll probably obviously take off tomorrow. Spence will be doing the show.
So he'll open it up then. He'll open it up. Yeah, just tell him to send me the link. That way I can help him out.
Absolutely. He'll probably use StreamYard. So
yeah. No, StreamYard's easy to use.
Will go on. Yeah, the show will go on. Yeah, and if you're a Raider, man, let's do what we can.
You know what's really funny, and again, I'm sorry to all our boxing fans. We love you guys, and good night to everybody who's combat sports.
Right.
But to our Raider fans that know us, the funniest thing, Professor T, is that everywhere I've gone, and I'm rocking Raiders, and they ask me, "How do you guys think you're going to do this year?" And I've been telling them, we will win 6 games, and that's the ceiling, right? The ceiling, right? They feel so bad. They're trying to tell me how we'll actually do better than what I think.
This is honestly the first time in my life that I actually feel worse than what the fans do. Not even the fans. I mean, just other people in general that don't even care about the Raiders. They're like, "Dang, you think they're gonna do that bad?"
Yes.
First time ever.
We're gonna do terrible. On the picks, like on one of our fantasy pools is with the family, and we just pick teams, whoever's gonna win or not, right?
Right.
Bro, I bet against the Raiders. I'm like, New England's gonna win.
It's definitely going down. So.
No, don't get me wrong. I want the Raiders to win. I hope I'm wrong.
Right.
But come on, Professor T.
Right.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
You can't even convince me that going into this whole Jacoby Myers mess, right? Come on, man. There's too much. There's too much going on for us to win on this weekend. We're not gonna win.
Yeah, you're right. So yeah, at least you guys will get some serious footage from this weekend in terms of Raider Nation. It's actually a very special weekend. I will say this last piece because it is a tidbit that I had no idea, but Al Davis was born in Brockton, Massachusetts, ladies and gentlemen. I had no idea. We will be going to his childhood home. A huge Raider picture will be taken with all of the Black Hole chapters, etc., and so forth. And the city is actually having a ceremony for Al Davis.
That's awesome.
It is.
That's amazing.
It is.
So I heard Captain Jack's going to be there, right?
Yes.
Is Myra G going to be there too?
Yeah, everybody's going to be there. Jeff, shout out to Jeff, man, the New England Black Hole chapter president. What an amazing job. And he just, was appointed this position. And to put on what he's put on is second to nothing. So, JT the Brick had Jeff on his show to shout out all of the things going on over this opening weekend. Check it out. Check out his channel, right? All that good stuff. And yeah, let's get ready for this weekend, man. I am excited. I'm excited for the weekend. So
let's do it, baby. Let's go.
Yep.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Next time. Peace.